Guys, this is James from TeaDB, bringing you InBetweenIsode number 58. So the end for the YangQing Hao episodes is finally in sight. I think this will be the last true review episode of a tea, but I will be doing one last episode with the fun little storage experiment of the 2005 Yiwu Chawang. I had a dry stored version sent to me, so it'll be interesting to compare that versus the one that was stored in Taiwan in Mr. Yang's storage. But today, I wanted to do at least one episode on one of the more premium Yang teas, so that means that it's more expensive, I guess, compared to the cheaper teas, which are also fairly expensive on their own. So I've been drinking through a bunch of them. There's a lot of really good stuff in there. Some are much better than others, in my opinion. But this one was recommended to me by Emmett and also by Grill and by Dignity too, I think. So everyone really likes this tea. It's a 2004 production. It's called the Teji pin, the Teji. I do not believe that it was sold on Hoda at any point. There was a point at which I thought that it was the special reserve, but the more I've looked into it, the more that seems to not be the case. So I am on steep number 3 and 4 here. The cake is a massive 500 grams, as are many of these. Costs $390, so that puts it about a little bit under 80 cents a gram. So it's definitely expensive, and it definitely kind of requires a high raw amount of cash investment in order to get it. But it is a very large cake. Anyways, cheers, guys. So it's sort of got like a dried apricot stone fruitness to it, accompanied with a little bit of that like dry, slight dry astringency. The body is nice and dense. I had the Chawang Shu from 2006, which is the nicest part of Guofengjai, supposedly, and that one opts for more just like heavy, oily thickness. I found the qi to be really strong in the first ones, but I find that this tea, in comparison, is just really well put together. There's some nice woody notes in here as well. So that was steep 3. Here is steep 4. Cheers, guys. So similar, a little bit more vanilla creaminess. When we're talking about like low or high notes, I find that this tea strikes a really nice balance between the two. It's not as low as a lot of what I found the 2007 YangQing Hao productions have been, like the Qijang or the mushroom I brought on last week. It has some of those notes. There's sort of like a nice warm woodiness to it. But it's not nearly as low or as earthy as those teas. But I really enjoy this tea, and I think it is definitely probably a cut above all the other YangQing Hao teas I've reviewed in video form, which includes that 2004 Tool, which I thought was pretty good, but I would have a hard time justifying the price. For this tea, I could become much closer, and I don't know if in the end I'm going to spring for a cake, but this is the closest one to tempting me of the more expensive teas. And so, like, really, when the tea is in the mouth, it's just beginning. You could feel the throatiness, and then it goes down, and you could feel it all the way into your chest, and then it sort of rises back up, and like produces really nice sweetness, and I find the qi to be very, very good in this tea as well. Just a really nice, well put together tea. Alright, so steep number 5. So on that last steep, I got a little bit less bite to it than the previous one, so I'm going to go for maybe 10 seconds here. So aroma is mainly a lot of sweet stone fruits, maybe a touch herbally, yeah, maybe a touch of ginseng, but predominantly stone fruits. So one other thing I'd like to announce is that I will be in conjunction with Grill releasing a drinking report. I want to call it Tea of the Month, but I guess that's not entirely accurate, as we've been having these teas over the course of several months on these YangQing Haos. Just sort of to wrap everything up, that will be released this Saturday, December something, the first Saturday of December. And so that just covers a ton of these teas. So if you're looking to sort of just put everything in perspective, as in like TA is this compared to TB, or how much did you really like something like the Iwu Cha Wang, now that we've drank through a lot of them, then that's definitely something that's worth checking out. I believe Emmett is doing the last group buy of the year this weekend as well. So look into that. So similar notes on that steep. Yeah, and so I'm really currently feeling a lot of the experiences of the chi. It's nice to stop now and then and just think what you're feeling. You could feel like I feel a whole concentration of sort of throat sweetness, especially sort of at the back of the mouth and the throat. Right now, if I were to chug a bunch of water, it would taste a lot different than if I had just water normally without having tea first. It would be very sweet tasting. I would be able to feel the water more. So really nice in that sense. Just a couple other things that you can look into and as towards the appreciation of a tea like this. I am starting to sweat a bit, which is also often an indicator of just sort of like that of strength in some regard. But here is steep number 5. I'm going to stop talking and drink. So this is probably even the best one. The form of it is still similar. The body is thicker. The textures are nicer. Yeah, this tea is just like a very balanced total package of, I think, what premium Pu'erh around this age should be. Yeah, it's just very, very pleasant in the sense that you got body, you got aftertaste, you got throatiness, you have chi. It just has all of these things happening at once. And some teas, like the Qijong, for instance, I like that tea a lot for the price, but it has some more obvious flaws. There's a little bit more roughness to it. It can be a little bit inconsistent, steep to steep. This tea, in comparison, it is not quite twice as expensive, but it's not a cheap tea, but it's just very, very well put together. A little bit more dark fruits coming into this, dark plums, dark cherries, that sort of thing. Cheers, guys. A little bit more herbally. This one has a little bit more of that dry fruit astringency that I sort of noted in the first steep. So when you push this tea, it doesn't bite back too much, but that's sort of like the bite that you'd expect to get back. I don't find it at all off-putting, but I'm also fairly well conditioned for raw pu'erh and some bite right now. So for me, what might be a little bit of astringency for someone else could be a whole lot of it. I'm not really sure. But anyways, I just want to thank Emmett for putting all these group orders together and sending me some of this tea. I also was lucky enough to have Grill send me 15 grams of his cake, so he decided that the full cake was worth it. And from talking to him, he's very, very satisfied with this, perhaps more so than any of the other YangQing Hao purchases he's done. Yeah, so thank you to everyone for sending me these teas and allowing me to try them. I think they're really wonderful experiences, and I think they are great to just sort of indicate how good these pu'erhs can be. And for me, I mean, 80 cents a gram or close to it is expensive, but if you think about it, I'm using 5 grams right now for 70 milliliter gaiwan. It's 80 cents times 5, it's $4, and I don't mean to get into a discussion of that, but $4 is it's not like a thing that only rich people could do. Maybe only rich people could do it like 3 times a day or whatever, but $4 isn't that bad, guys. So that's my case. If you are participating in the group orders, I'd highly recommend asking Emmett to include a sample of this. You could email him and offer to pay or whatever. I'm not really sure how that works, but thank you all for watching, and look forward to next week if you are interested at all in sort of like storage and storage comparisons, so that sort of thing. Cheers, guys.